What's good, everybody? All blessings to the Most High. It's Black Mountain Hotep here. I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. I just got out of the gym, and I'm a little bit on the worn out side, but I'm about to cruise up the mountain here. So let me just go ahead and get into this real quick. Brandon Tatum. For the duration of this entire video, I'm gonna refer to this fool as dumbass Brandon Tatum, because he had the nerve to say on live stream that black people are less intelligent than white people. He had the nerve to say this. Bro, your following is way massive, and it ain't black people that's following you. Really, it's all white folks with like a sprinkling. It's like a salt and pepper sprinkling of black folks. The majority of the people that follow you are white MAGA supporters, and you got the nerve to say some shit like black people are less intelligent than white people. All right, and the reason he says this is because he's prompted by a question asked by one of his followers, presumably white, because of the way that the question is framed. And the question is, what do you have to say about the studies about the intellectual capacity between black people and white people? Nigga, why the fuck does that, excuse my language, why does that even matter in the frame of politics? I got to question Brandon Tatum. Why does it matter for the Blexit whether or not, to your white followers, whether or not they know the intelligence level of the black American? Furthermore, why would you feel the need to divulge your opinion on that to white people in America, given the climate today? Given the way that things are, why would you feel the need to voice your opinion on that, knowing that the majority of your followers are white and a large percentage of them produce these ridiculous memes that parrot your black people are slaves on a plantation rhetoric that you and your whole squad have produced? All right, first of all, any white people who are listening to this, if you talk to black people like that, that is the first way to lose our respect, which you barely have in the first place. And secondly, if you talk to us like that, that's the first way to lose a vote. All right, the only reason, all right, first of all, y'all motherfuckers are lucky that y'all got this president, because let's be honest here. All right, just because this president is good for business don't mean we like this nigga. All right, I don't care who follows me, if they agree with him, I don't care. All right, the only reason, if I was, you know what I'm saying, I couldn't vote. All right, I was on parole when he was elected. All right, if I could have voted, I would not have voted for Hillary Clinton. I probably still would have voted for his ass, because despite all the nigga was good for business. You know what I'm saying? I am a ex-convict. I know what the Clintons have done to my people. And as far as I'm concerned, the Clintons have done more damage than the Trumps have done. Now, that is not me being an apologist, because I don't like Republicans. Let's be honest. I don't like y'all motherfuckers. I don't like Republicans. I don't like MAGA dudes. I don't like y'all. The reason I don't like y'all is because y'all say the same kind of shit that comes out of this motherfucker's mouth, the same kind of stuff that comes out of Brandon Tatum's, this dumb Brandon Tatum's mouth. Y'all say this stuff to us, and then y'all be like, well, y'all just got this mental disorder. Y'all need to just follow along. What makes you think I'm gonna listen to you? First of all, anyway. So, he's parroting this stuff coming from, first of all, I'm willing to bet that Brandon Tatum, who has never read the doctrine that this rhetoric comes from, that this intelligence doctrine comes from, all right, that this intelligence rhetoric comes from. He's never read this, guaranteed. I know he's never read it because he said he couldn't even finish the Bible because he's dumb. He's the only dumb black, he's dumber than white folks. The only dumb black person in America is Brandon Tatum. The rest of us is smart. Remember that. So, anyway, this stuff comes from a book called The Bell Curve. Now, before I found Twitter, before I found YouTube, before I found when I got off of parole, before I found all that, I literally came across The Bell Curve on my own, okay? Read that shit. Then I heard a podcast of Sam Harris. All right, now I tweeted that I had read the book twice. All right, I listened to it the second time, read it the first time. All right, yes, I had listened. At one point in time, I was on my Sam Harris kick. I was on that mindful meditation shit, whatever the fuck. So I listened to this little thing with Sam Harris, and he was talking about the bell curve, and he was kind of being a little bit of an apologist himself. All right, and so I decided I would revisit the bell curve. I decided I would revisit the bell curve and actually listen to it again. And I did. All right, and it's garbage. All right. Now, before you say, oh, well, you just are having your feelings hurt because it's talking about, hey, man, it's garbage for every single person but the Ashkenazi Jew and the white man. Coincidentally, the only people who wrote the book, the only people who espouse the rhetoric in the book, the only people who parrot the talking points in the book, the only people who give a shit about the book also happen to be the smartest people in the book. Come on with that shit, man. Do you think we dumb? Yeah, you do, because you like the book. And coincidentally, so does Brandon Tatum. Dumbass Brandon Tatum thinks that black Americans are dumb. Let's be honest, not less intelligent, dumb. He thinks we're dumb because he thinks that we're going to listen to that crap. Let's be honest. He thinks we're dumb because he thinks that we're going to walk behind him and Candace Owens and they crew while they call us slaves all the way to the GOP plantation. That's what he thinks. What makes me upset is that they say sometimes, like, man, they point on some really good things. I'm like, that's true. That's true. That's true. Oh, there you go. There you go. You done had to say it. Like Candace Owens with the white supremacy cake. I mean, that should be a whole video on its own, and it probably will be. Listen, Candace, you're an idiot, okay? You're running around telling people white supremacy doesn't exist, and you're an idiot. First of all, white supremacy exists in policy. Always. Remember that. White supremacy exists in policy. And those of you who say it doesn't are liars and fools. Anyway, white supremacy is most definitely a thing. And if it doesn't exist in policy, let me tell you something. When I was locked up, I was incarcerated with quite a few white supremacists. Myself knew quite a few of those dudes. They was all over the yard. In Colorado, which is where I was in prison, in Colorado, the yard is run by white supremacists of all types and Sureños and Mexicans. All right? That's what the yard is run by. And everyone that I came across, none of them had, only like 5 of them had life sentences. When I spent my last 2 years in prison, when I was finally a good boy and spent my last 2 years in a camp, every white supremacist in there was getting out of prison. And there were hundreds. So if you want to tell me that what happened is they were like, oh, we're going to get out of prison and we just going to be like, niggas is cool, then you are stupid. You're an idiot. They're going to get out and they're going to teach their children the same stuff. They're going to get out and they're going to teach their children how to be brand new white supremacists with a brand new ideology that doesn't get their asses locked up. And they're going to use shit like the bell curve to improve their thought process, to improve their belief, to enhance their own physical superiority, to make them feel better than the black American, to do what Brandon Tatum is doing on his live stream. Excuse me if I feel like, if I seem like I'm just so angry, but the color of my skin warrants that I be this fired up when another man with the color of my skin is on the live stream telling white people that we're dumber than them. As far as I'm concerned, you ain't black. Somebody take that fool's black card. You ain't no black conservative. You a white conservative. Somebody call Charlie Kirk and get this man a new skin.